And for all-new must-see TV.
5. An accused rapist takes the stand in his own defense. A confident Samuel McCullum is telling a very different story. And good afternoon, I'm Jackie Hayes.
And I'm Dawn G. Convicted rapist Samuel McCullum took the stand today in his own defense.
McCullum is on trial accused of abducting a Louisville teenager and sexually assaulting her. Wave 3's James Dombrowski is covering the trial and joins us live now from the downtown Judicial Center with our top story. James?
As you might expect, a vastly different picture painted today by Samuel Earl McCullum as he took the stand in his own defense. McCullum said he thought he recognized the alleged victim when she waved to him on the morning of May 19, 2002 at a bus stop at Broadway and Dixie. He stopped, she walked up, asked for a ride, got in the car, they went to breakfast. He testified that she didn't want to go home and that she actually refused to get out of the car. That's when they wound up at his Dixie Highway business. McCullum said conversation and mutual touching led to sex in the office of his business that Sunday morning.
I placed my hands on her thighs just above her knees.
It's just concluded. We'll bring you highlights of that at the Wave 3 News at 6. McCullum said the duct tape initially was part of a bondage fantasy he claimed the victim hadn't discussed with him. He also told the court he had no idea how the chains got on her. Back to you.
All right, James Dombrowski reporting live tonight. It's going to be a chilly night tonight with possibly some frost.
Wave 3's John Belsky is here now with a check on our first forecast. It's getting chilly fast.
It is, and that frost, I don't think it's going to be real widespread because the winds may be just strong enough to keep it, from everywhere. But
we're just bringing in the plants anyway.
Well,
we can.
with that, especially any house plants, these tropical plants, you get nights in the 40s even. They need to be inside, so bring those plants in. Here's forecast lows around the area, though. You see everybody will be dipping into the 30s. And even a few spots northeast of Louisville flirting with that freezing mark. Now, freeze warning in effect for areas up towards Cincinnati. Frost advisory north and west of us. The frost advisory includes in Indiana, Bedford, North Vernon, and Seymour. And that freeze warning does cover Carrollton, Owenton, and VV. No advisories locally, although we may get a little more widespread frost tomorrow night. So this is not just a one-night thing. 2 nights coming up.
Now, Jackie, you weren't here yesterday. You missed John's wonderful shot of his roof at 8 a.m. He climbed up there.
I climbed out of my roof
pajamas.
to take a picture of the frost on the roof
in
yesterday.
His pajamas.
So
in your pajamas.
We'll see
talk about that later.
See kind of pictures, frost pictures I come up with tomorrow morning.
Thank you, John.
Okay, all right.
All right. Thanks, John.
Okay.
In other news today, the trial of a man accused of killing an Elizabethtown man and stuffing his body in a suitcase will be moved to Hardin County. The body of 36-year-old Richie Phillips was found on Rough River Lake in Breckenridge County back in June. But investigators now believe Joshua Cottrell killed Phillips in an Elizabethtown motel room. 22-year-old Cottrell is expected to be arraigned on October 28th in Elizabethtown.
An Ohio County, Kentucky man is dead after an accident this morning in southwest Louisville. Police say 43-year-old Douglas Daugherty died of massive trauma when his car slammed into a utility pole on the Greenbelt Highway near Lower River Road. Daugherty was one of 5 men in the vehicle. Police say none of them was wearing a seatbelt. 2 were treated for minor injuries at University Hospital. And the truck driver killed when his rig swerved off I-71 in Oldham County yesterday has been identified as 67-year-old Robert Toohey of Erlanger. The crash, which happened around 9:30 in the morning, closed the interstate for about 11 hours. The truck was carrying 3,500 gallons of sodium hydroxide. Investigators believe the driver either suffered a medical problem or fell asleep. There are new details tonight about the death of 24-year-old Sergeant Darren Potter, a member of the 223rd National Guard Unit out of Louisville.
Today, the Department of Defense said Potter died Monday when his vehicle left the road and flipped into a canal while he was conducting a search near a prison in Iraq. 2 other soldiers survived the crash. Potter's death is another blow to the 223rd family, who lost a former commander of their unit in a plane crash on Saturday. Wave 3's Eric Flack has that story.
This morning in Lexington, a private memorial service, family only.
Most of us, the 2 are kind of intertwined right now.
In the military, family goes beyond blood. So as they gathered behind these walls to remember former 223rd Adjutant General Russ Groves, who died in a plane crash over the weekend, thoughts were also with Sergeant Darren Potter, a member of Groves' old unit, killed in an Iraqi prison search Monday.
When you have a loss in your family, you feel it everywhere. That's true whether it's a sergeant with the 223rd MP Company or whether it's the former adjutant general. We all feel the loss profoundly because each is a member of our family.
Potter was a part of Louisville Metro Police Officer Mike Koenig's family, too. Potter was his best friend. He was even supposed to be a groomsman in Koenig's wedding.
He's the type that would give his shirt off his back if you needed something. He'd bend over backwards. He was always overly polite, overly giving.
Potter, a Butler High School graduate, is the first member of the 223rd killed in combat ever, and the first Kentucky Guardsman to die in battle since Vietnam.
This is part of service to nation, service to state, and I think we all accept that.
Friends say General Groves would have been proud.
Make this world a better place.
We should all be proud of him. Doing a great job, but we have to realize because of the recent death that there is a risk and there is a price to pay, and it's for freedom.
The life of a former soldier and the courage of one who died serving on the minds of those here today. Eric Flack, Wave 3 News.
Funeral arrangements for Sergeant Potter have not yet been released. His family plans to speak with the media tomorrow. The 223rd first saw action more than a decade ago. The unit was mobilized for Desert Shield and Desert Storm in 1990 and 1991. It was deployed multiple times after that to act as military police support in Latin America and Panama. Then in 2001, the 223rd was sent to Bosnia. The unit returned 3 days after 9/11, then left for Iraq last February. The 223rd is scheduled to return to Louisville next February.
If your kids complain that they've got too much homework, tell them about a new national study on that very topic. They probably won't like the results, though. 2 studies have concluded that on average, most students have only 1 hour of homework each night. That's compared to international students. Experts say this is an immensely light load. The study reflects that some kids may legitimately be overwhelmed, but that number reflects only 1 in 10 of all students.
It's always been said that UK fans bleed true blue, and it's obvious in Lexington. Midnight Madness, the kickoff to the basketball season, is still 3 weeks away. But already, 2 fans are waiting in line to see the Cats take to the hardwood. Wave 3's Kent Taylor joins us live from Lexington with more. And true blue, you can certainly call them, Kent.
That's right. Only in Kentucky is something you can definitely say here. You know, Kentucky started doing this Midnight Madness back in 1982. It's a phenomenon that really started with Lefty Driesell back at Maryland in the 70s. But ever since Kentucky started in 1982, Kentucky fans have grasped it. And look at this. This is what I'm talking about when I say only in Kentucky. I'm talking about a gentleman in an RV, Wally Clark, who one year showed up 38 days before Midnight Madness. This year, he just showed up last Thursday in an RV sponsored by a Lexington RV company. The only thing is, Wally thought he was first in line. He's not. Wilburn Richmond, a 30-year-old from Moorhead, has a tent set up just by the ticket windows over there. Now, we just arrived here in Lexington. We're going to go over. We're going to talk to Wally and Wilburn. I've already been inside and talked to UK head coach Tubby Smith about this. He says, you know, you're not going to see this at any other program in the country. These people are lined up now 10 days before the tickets will be handed out. This is something they started a few years ago, handing out tickets. They'll do that on Saturday the 11th. Midnight Madness, though, Big Blue Madness is set for the 17th. The theme not yet announced, but these guys know that they'll get their tickets and they'll have some pretty good seats for that on the 17th. Guys?
Line already forming. Thanks, Kent.
Wonder about their jobs.
Yeah, how do they do that?
Oh, well. Blind spots when we're driving are certainly blamed for a number of accidents, but a tragic accident can be avoided with a simple new gadget.
We're going to tell you more about that coming up after the break in consumer news. Plus, despite the twists, turns, and loopholes, there should be a fewer unwanted calls today from telemarketers.
You're watching Wave 3 News at 5 with Jackie Hayes, Dawn G., and meteorologist John Belsky.
Where every fashion statement ends with an exclamation point. Lazy Boy Furniture Galleries.
Home furnishings need help? Then you need to know one thing. Factory authorized clearance. Right now at Lazy Boy Furniture Galleries, find limited time savings on select home furnishings. Get there soon. Factory authorized clearance going on now.
Wave 3 News is brought to you by Lazy Boy Furniture Galleries, Louisville's largest selection of quality furniture.
Say aloha to a great new taste from Papa John's.
Introducing 2 new pizzas with a zesty barbecue taste. Papa John's new barbecue chicken and bacon pizza and our new Hawaiian barbecue chicken pizza with the added taste of juicy pineapple. Try Papa John's new barbecue chicken and bacon pizza or Hawaiian barbecue chicken pizza. Your choice, just $10.99. Call us now or order online at papajohns.com.
Better ingredients, better pizza. Papa John's.
Enjoy that new refrigerator, guys.
Give the hat back, Joey.
They gave it to me, George. Hey, that's our 3rd emergency delivery this week.
That's why H.H. Gregg offers same-day delivery, Joey.
Same day, next day, any day.
And we've got over 400 models of appliances in stock, more than anybody.
H.H. Gregg, over 400 models of appliances in stock, ready for delivery 7 days a week.
Here. What?
For so long, this was my life, caring for patients. It still is. Now I'm working to lower the cost of health care and prescription drugs. My plan does it in a safe way, and it caps the outlandish, frivolous lawsuits that have just made trial lawyers rich, while so many are just barely able to afford their health care. We can heal health care in Kentucky, but first, we must have real change in Frankfurt.
Sure, all these OTC and prescription allergy medicines are approved for pollen, but some are not approved for pet dander and dust. Others are not approved for smoke. Only Flonase is approved to relieve the nasal symptoms from all these triggers. For best results, use daily. Side effects are generally mild and may include headache, nosebleed, and sore throat. Ask your doctor about Flonase. For all these triggers, all it takes is Flonase.
Hey, Bob. Long time no see. Hey, Karen.
Everyone's coming in for Arby's 2 new sandwiches.
George!
They're finding out how exciting roast beef can be.
Hey. Woo. What's wrong with you?
Never do that again. Introducing 2 great new tastes from Arby's. The new French dip and Swiss with a richer, thicker au jus. And the new Philly Beef Supreme with fire-roasted peppers and onions. And each great taste comes in a new bakery soft baguette.
What are you eating today?
Welcome back, and you're watching Wave 3 News at 5. Right now, we'll look at the drive home from a picture from our university camp. Doesn't look too bad right now, and we're not hearing of any other reports in the immediate area.
On this beautiful day, if you want to take a drive, good news, our gas price index today is still getting better. Our 5-station average puts a gallon of gas at about $1.35. That's down 2 cents from yesterday, and we're also getting reports of prices down in the $1.20 range. So fill up. At least 58 children were killed last year, victims of car accidents in their very own driveways.
Consumer Reports tested to show how blind spots can vary from car to car and how dangerous they can be. Dr. Greg Gulbranson knows firsthand the tragedy of a car's blind spot. One night after coming home from dinner out, he said goodnight to his 2 boys and went outside to back the car into the driveway.
While I was backing up, watching over my shoulders, using the rearview mirrors, I felt a bump.
It turns out Greg's younger son, Cameron, had followed his dad outside.
With his pajamas and his blanket in his hand, bleeding profusely from a severe head injury. I had obviously backed right over him, and I never saw him.
Cameron is one of dozens of children killed last year in an accident similar to this. Cameron's dad was driving an SUV that night, but Consumer Reports' David Champion says every vehicle has visibility issues.
All cars have got a blind spot. Some cars are better than others. The bigger cars tend to have bigger blind spots.
Consumer Reports testers illustrate the blind spot in 4 different types of vehicles: a sedan, a minivan, an SUV, and a pickup truck. Testers move orange traffic cones behind the vehicle until David can see them.
Still can't see it, further back more.
The cones mark off the area the driver is unable to see.
That area is completely blind to the driver. Anything could be there.
The sedan had the smallest blind spot, about 12 feet. The minivan had a blind spot of 13 feet. The SUV's blind spot was 14 feet, but the pickup was the worst, with a blind spot measuring 30 feet long, more than twice the distance of any of the other vehicles.
Lately, families have been buying SUVs and pickup trucks as family vehicles. And really, I don't think they realize the bigger depth that we've seen today in terms of the blind spot behind the vehicle.
Greg Gulbranson echoes that sentiment.
But we did not appreciate the magnitude of the problem with that blind spot.
Greg is now working to raise public awareness so that what happened to Cameron doesn't happen to any other child. Greg has now installed a rear view camera on his SUV that he believes would have saved his son's life. Consumer Reports just evaluated camera systems and other backup aids to see how much they really can help drivers, and we've got results on that coming up this Friday.
It's the first day of the national no-call list, and already the FCC is receiving complaints because of a court order blocked the Federal Trade Commission from enforcing the list. The FCC handles consumer complaints, and the agency says it's created just a little bit of confusion. And surprising news about whose names are on the list, including 11 executives from Direct Marketing Association. The group fought the no-call list in court. Now that tells you something.
They want to bother people, but they don't want to be bothered.
They don't want to be bothered. Yeah, that tells you a little bit of something, doesn't it?
Well, I tell you, if you don't like cold weather, you might be bothered, because I think we've got a little.
It is a little chilly out there, and I still think by late next week we're back into highs in the 70s.
True Indian summer.
For a nice stretch.
That's perfect.
But in the meantime, a couple of bouts where we have a few days in the 50s
Actually,
and
I
lows
think
in the 30s.
Just pretty.
I do too.
As long as the sun's out. Now, if you get one of those cloudy days when it stays in the 50s, and it's
like yesterday afternoon when the rain started. That got a little bit chilly out there for the kids playing sports.
That was just nasty.
Yeah, they were hurting.
It was nasty.
All right. Well, anyway, happy first day of October.
Thank you.
We're here, and now sunset tonight, 7:26.
That's early.
Well, now we're changing the clocks. Late end of this month. So 1 month from tonight, our sunset will be 5:44.
Christmas is only 12 weeks away almost.
Oh, thanks for the reminder.
And how many shopping days is that, Dawn? I'm sure.
I can't help you.
All right. Well, anyway, I just wanted to pass that along there. Here's the numbers. We're at 59 right now. Feels like 56 out because the winds are blowing pretty good out of the west at 15. Our high temperature made it to 60 today, and the low reading this morning was at 42 degrees. Here's the pollen report. The ragweed count and everything low at 3.7 will be into the moderate range for tomorrow, and then mold count will be in the high category. All right, let's take a look at temperatures around the area, and I'll tell you what, let me the bar at the bottom here, we've got some wrong numbers on that. Let's go ahead and take that off the screen because morning lows will be in the 30s for tomorrow morning. Just didn't want to mislead anybody on that. All right, here's current ratings, and generally running 50s from Louisville on north and east. A little bit of some milder weather, lower 60s, but actually cooler weather dropping back in for tomorrow. Now, the clouds in here, kind of off and on, they'll be clearing out tonight, but you can see how they're moving toward the southeast. It's a cold flow coming out of the north country, at least through tomorrow night with these chilly temperatures here. All is quiet on the radar. Some showers around Cleveland. See a little spurt of white every now and then bopping up there. That is snow in Michigan. Let's go up to Michigan on the radar here. Okay, the pink is where we're getting some rain and snow mixed from Detroit all the way up to Traverse City. And then north of Traverse City, this is all snow falling right now. They're expecting a couple of inches up in the UP of Michigan there for tonight. No thank you. We don't want anything like that. All right, here's tomorrow morning. It'll be clear, cold with scattered frost at 7 a.m. as the day goes on. Not much happening weather-wise. Maybe a shower out around Buffalo, but locally it'll be another sunny day, but a chilly day, all right? The morning lows 30s here, some 20s to the northeast of us, a freeze there across northern Illinois. 50s, though, for tomorrow. So tomorrow will be just a little cooler than today. Scattered frost tonight, 37 in the city, 34 out in the suburbs. Partly sunny, 58 tomorrow, and then 67 on Friday. Could get a shower Friday evening. Here's the 7-day. Now Saturday, it's a chance of showers. Not a real big chance, and mainly early in the day, so we may luck out there. But Sunday does look cool with a high of only 58 degrees on Sunday.
All right, we've got a DJ Bluff for you, Dawn Jackie Bluff. How many shopping days till Christmas?
Shopping days till Christmas. Was it 12 weeks exactly? Or are you estimating
no,
it's 12?
No, that's a little estimation, but
well, okay,
come
I'll
on, Mr.
say,
Bluff Man.
I don't know, 80 days. 80
Ooh, that's close. 84.
84.
So just mark that on your calendar.
All right.
Shop for those kids. Yeah. Thanks, John.
I'll wait till about a week to go.
Oh, the night before. I
That's
know
me.
you.
Yeah.
Been there too. Yeah.
All right. Well, new guidelines are out on how often a woman should get a pap test.
But coming up after the break in HealthCast, find out why some doctors say the guidelines don't apply to everyone.
I received this wedding gift from my husband's aunt, but I don't need a monkey lamp. I was extremely torn. I didn't know whether I should just keep the lamp or return it and risk hurting her feelings. So I asked myself, what would Jared do?
I would return the lamp. She really just wants you to be happy. Then I'd get a red wine vinaigrette club.
So, where's the lamp?
The Red Wine Vinaigrette Club from Subway. Eat fresh.
In Ben Chandler's family, public service is a tradition. He loves our state and has always put people ahead of special interests.
Charlie's a great businessman. He's created hundreds of jobs.
So we got together and wrote a real plan for the people of Kentucky.
We'll start by creating 100,000 new jobs.
And to cut healthcare costs, we'll lower the cost of prescription drugs.
To improve education, we'll get discipline and respect back in, drugs and violence out.
Read our plan. Get involved.
It's about putting Kentucky families first for a change.
The ultimate compliment to this hair transplant, I think, is that very few people know I have it. I had some concerns like anybody would, but I went and talked to Dr. Parsley about it. He explained everything completely. We did the transplant one day. I was out playing golf the next. My hair has grown back very naturally, very gradually. I'm very happy with the results. I would wholeheartedly recommend it. And if you have any questions, just give Dr. Parsley a call.
Thursday, let's hear it for all-new must-see TV. On Friends, Ross finally knows about Joey and Rach. Crubs premiere. Elliot's looking hot, and her ex-boyfriend Scott Foley's looking to win her back. Lane! Then Mira Sorvino's on Will and Grace as the only woman Will's ever slept with.
Oh my God!
Plus, the most talked about new show, Coupling.
Excellent.
NBC Thursday.
There's a neighborhood where you get only half of what you need. Local and long distance. Are you comfortable with only half the services? Now you can get it all with Bell South. Unlimited long distance and local combined with internet and singular wireless for great savings, all on one bill. Call now to find out how to save up to $200 a year. When you know where to get the whole answer, why sniff around a neighborhood that only offers half? Bell South. Listening, answering.
At DQ, our world's greatest shakes are so great, we thought, why not call them the galaxy's greatest shakes? But then we thought, what if there's life on Rigel 7 and they've got a pretty fine shake themselves? Naturally, they get kind of upset and, well...
Dude.
Nah, let's just keep it the world's greatest shakes. And now, buy any food item at DQ and get a small one for 99 cents, including the new Mocha Shake. Do one, and DQ something different.
Appreciate that. Kentuckiana High School principal is back from the war in Iraq. Coming up tonight on Wave 3 News at 5:30, we're going to check in with Ron Ortiz.
And October is Fire Prevention Month. Today, Kentucky firefighters pause to remember their fallen brothers and sisters.
Plus, before you turn on your furnace for the first time this year, we have got some tips you can use to keep you safe.
Could be tonight. Your news at 5:30 is straight ahead.
From out of the blue, they appear. A million shapes and styles, colors. Now there's one place where all your ideas and inspirations blossom. Rhodes, what you need, what you dream for. Discover the value of letting your imagination run free. We make it easy at Rhodes today, where ideas and inspirations find a welcomed home. Yours.
Always better, always Lowe's.
Wait, Folger's new. You got this guy here, receiver split out wide. We're gonna flex the tight end. He's gonna go back in the backfield here. Pulling guard comes through here. He's followed by the fullback, who blasts open a hole. You stayed my tailback.
It turns out the cereal pediatricians recommend as finger food for toddlers is the same cereal that's good for your heart.
I've been thinking about cutting him anyhow.
Some things just come full circle.